Muted. My mic was muted, sorry. I have been talking this whole time. Hi, welcome to Nexus Gaming Series, everyone. Sorry. Sorry about that. So, jumping right into the game, you can see, we already see a pretty aggressive comp here from Team Happy Cloud. I fully expect this to be a Bloodlust Rhaegar, for reasons I talked about last night. I think now that the game is almost certain to go post-20, I fully expect the level 20 Bloodlust to be the play. And that was a very early pick. Meanwhile, though, we have the Deckard Kane. Pokeflute has definitely played some Deckard over the years, not a stranger to the old card, I guess I'll call him for short. But I like the Deckard from the standpoint of if they do Bloodlust, you can always sleepy time with the stay a while and listen, and that's going to help disengage potentially any Bloodlust. Although post 20 with the 18-second Bloodlust, it's just rough. Gonna see Leoric. So R275 Delta did play healer last season, moving into the solo lane with that Leoric pick. Interesting flex here. And on the other side, we're going to see Bret Michaels on the Jaina, with OJ Juice coming in. I mean, I don't like Bloodlust. I don't like it. I don't like playing it. It's the stronger ult in most cases right now, and that really pains me to say it, but it's kind of gotten to that point. We have a Rexar, great solo lane pick to clean up. So I really like both of these drafts. On the side of Team Happy Cloud, you have a lot of engage potential with Leoric and Tomb, with a Muradin jump in. You got the Bloodlust to help move speed people in. On the other hand, you got a lot of disengage. You got Bless Shield, you got Stay a While and Listen. But you also have enough kill potential with the Misha potentially stunning, getting some burst damage off the level 16 talent, I believe. I think it's 16, with Greymane Finish. Also, some pretty big damage from the Greymane. Should be a fun match. I'm very high on both of these teams. I have a feeling that both of these teams will make playoffs in A East. That said, A East, very deep region. Anything could happen, but it'll be interesting to see where this game goes as we jump now into the match. Gonna go ahead and introduce both of our teams. On the left side, it's going to be Delta on Leoric, Galaxy Quest on Raynor, OJ Juice on the Rhaegar, Bret Michaels is going to be on the Jaina, and Sweet Buns on the Muradin. It is Team Happy Cloud, but the winners of the Regen Invitational bracket on the right, Party Time, is going to be Pokeflute on that Deckard, Chess Clue on the Joanna. Ekeeb is going to be playing Greymane, Schumann on the Gul'dan, and Bishop Mist going to be on the Rexar. It is party time. So, speaking of party time, let's go ahead and get into the game here. Taking a look at those initial rotations, neither team really committing to any engage. You do see Rexar heading down already. Sweet Buns maybe thinking of pressuring down here in the bottom. Certainly going to be able to stack that hammer quickly off the bear, but already the wave clear advantage going very much over to the side of Party Time. One would expect just that to occur. Gul'dan with that corruption coming in, taking a look at the level 1 talent choice, though. It is Q build, and on this map, Q build tends to be quite strong. It helps with the wave clear, but you tend to get very brawly towards the end of the game. A lot of chances to stack. Rhaegar generally does okay against the E build because of its AoE healing, and he can Rhaegar has a talent at 13 that does okay into the E build, which is his gold talent. It's the one that does extra dot healing if the target's below 50%, so I like that choice of talent a lot for Gul'dan going into Q this early. Meanwhile, keep an eye on these rotations. Rhaegar is working on this camp, starting to get a bit low. Does have the self-heal, but gonna need a little bit of help. Meanwhile, Greymane cleaning up the camp quickly. Ekeeb there. But I love what they're doing. They're keeping the stacks on, or the gems onto this Joanna early, as she's just impossible to kill this early in the game. They won't want all the gems on Joanna. The downside of getting all the gems on the one player is that the team can then just keep tabs on that one player. You do want the gems stacked on typically 2 or 3 players is kind of the magic number. Because then you have people who don't need to turn who can zone. Brett Michaels taking a ton of damage there from the Gold Dance. Does get out of the Decker route just in time. Could have got popped there by another Q. Level 4 talents now coming in as we see the teams rotate up. Joanna going into the Eternal Retaliation, picked on this map for the wave clear potential. Going to be able to get that CDR on the W. But now it looks like we're seeing, because of the shift away of Greymane to this bottom lane, we're actually seeing a chance for Team Happy Cloud to get control of these rotations, as well as to get some gems dropped. They managed to drop 11 here from Delta, as I am being visited by a kitty cat named Morgan, who is adorable and sweet and cuddly. Galaxy Quest, meanwhile, here in the bottom lane, extremely low. We do see a rotation by Team Happy Cloud trying to equalize with this Siege Giant in the bottom, just trying to get the pressure. Looks like they're going to leave Raynor down there for the time being to clean up as Leo starts to walk back, but rotation coming towards the top. Sweet Bun kind of surrounded here. Needs to be a bit careful. Risky position. Did save the Dwarf Toss. Good timing on that, making sure he got out of the Deckard route. Both teams do a good job controlling, but right now, 16 gems turned in for Team Happy Cloud versus only 12. Both teams have a turn-in available. Actually, no, I take that back. THC does not have a turn-in available at the moment just yet, although they're going to pick it up with one more gem. There it is. Let's see how these teams try to sneak their gems in. Right now, Rexar and Leo just challenging each other in the lane. Looks like Brett Michaels going to try to drop 11. Chest Flu, though, kind of just abusing the fact that Joanna is just so hard to kill this early in the game. Gonna step up and keep the pressure on. That said, it looks like Brett Michaels might get that 11 in. Goldan not able to interrupt, and that's 11 more in the bank for THC. Keep an eye on this. Level 7 talents coming in. Chest Glue a little bit low. Rhaegar actually rather low in the front. And we do have Bishop Myth, looks like a DC. So we're going to try to reset here. As we get... We'll get back into the game here in just a second. Right out of the gate here, both teams doing a really good job of kind of pressuring the other in the lane. THC, though, despite kind of having the wave clear disadvantage, although not much of one, Jaina can clear away very well. THC doing a good job getting their gems in. Currently, it's sitting, when we look at the game, at 41-12. And let me just make sure the teams aren't trying to contact me over Discord here. I'll just message quick. Can't chat in game, but I'm good to go wherever you guys are. I just wanted to let them know that I can't chat in the game because I'm spectator status, but taking a look at the map right now, I mean, you know, both teams healthy towers on the mid and top, so that's going to limit what the first Web Weaver phase does. Rexar currently a bit low, possibly because of the DC. So we're going to see if Bishop can get back into the game. Pardon me. Meanwhile, you know, camps have been claimed largely by Ekeep with that Greymane, and there you see the power of Greymane. Rhaegar will get good camp clear, but it can take a bit. Looking at some of the talent builds, someone suggesting Raynor may have misclicked the level 4. Give it that is to say, gain 5 additional health. Who knows? Maybe he wants to be a really beefy boy. Possible. Jaina going kind of the standard mana into 2Q's talent. Leo going with the standard. This will enable him to double soak later. Rhaegar W build with a cleanse. Muradin, pretty standard. Give him the axe. Once again, suggests to me that we are going to see a Bloodlust build. Look. Checking once again if they're messaging me, because I can't see chat because I am a spectator. So we'll see. Right now, though, that 35 gems on Chest Clue is kind of turning into an issue. This is why you want to spread your stacks out a bit, because now Chest Clue has to turn in. If Chest Clue turns in, they'll be up to 47. At that point, either E-Keep or Poke Flute, they'll be fine. Whereas, on the other side, yes, they do still need to get 9 gems in, and yes, Leo has that turn. But you also look at it in OJ Juice and Delta, not too far from 9 either. So you kind of have more options to get that turn in. But we're going to take a brief break while we figure this pause out. No one has communicated with me yet, so I will... Oh, there's the chat. Okay, looks like actually we're back and ready to get in this. Okay. All right, so back into our rotations here. And you're seeing THC really kind of pressure out on these rotations. Joe now up to 38. Yes, Galaxy Quest now looking to try to turn. Right now, THC does get spotted out by the Gul'dan, but Galaxy Quest is still looking for the turn. Rexar flanking onto the back. No one getting the turn at the moment as a brawl's starting to break out, but Rhaegar about to drop 8 gems, and if Bret Michaels gets these last 3 in, that will be enough, and he does, so we're going to get the first Web Weaver phase heading over to the side of THC, doing a really good job controlling vision there, knowing when to split people off and look for the turn. They wanted to pressure up the Leo, so he couldn't get the turn, but the second they saw the window, they rotate Rhaegar and Jaina out, they get the turn. Good job by them. Now, Murrah stepping up, looking for the stun, does get another hammer. Murrah up to 14 stacks so far. No kills in this game. That means he's actually hit 14 hammers, which this early in the game is actually pretty good at this level. People know how to dodge skill shots there, but he's doing a good job kind of catching people out. Now up to 15. Top Web Weaver gets cleaned up pretty quick. Doesn't do really any damage to this wall. Meanwhile, Greymane kind of chasing Bret Michaels down towards the bottom, but they did get this mid-wall in its entirety. Don't know how much more they're going to be able to get here. Root comes in just to zone out the members of THC. Web Weaver was taking out bot as well. Minimal damage to the wall, so good defense there with the Gul'dan and the Greymane able to nuke down those Web Weavers rather quickly. And now, an opportunity to turn in. Chest Clue sitting at 52 gems, though. The Chest Clue is going to have to be the one to turn in. There's actually no advantage to E-Keep trying to turn in here. This is just kind of some standard math here. If anything, you know, I guess there's some advantage, but not going to get much. But there is the Bloodlust that we talked about. But Muradin dove in, and he was already so low. And there is Jaina way out of position, trying to dive before the rest of the team got caught behind the sleepy time. And THC with a little bit sloppy of engage there, and that will certainly be the Web Weaver phase heading over, as once again it looks like Bishop Mist has DC'd. So a little bit unfortunate with the internet connection, but we will do what we can to try to get back into this game. Yeah, kind of a, you know, I like the idea of the Bloodlust. We want to go in and get the kill, but Muradin was already very low at that point. He didn't actually looked like he got the avatar off. I think he intended to pop it, but maybe he hadn't selected it yet, not sure. But then Jaina, because she was trying to dive with the Muradin to blow up a target, oh, he was out of mana. That was it. But so low health and low mana there. Jaina went in to try to get Muradin's target, couldn't find it, and ended up just completely out of position. Got annihilated there by Party Time. So Party Time now about to get their first Web Weaver. They got the first 2 kills of the match. So hopefully we can get back into this game soon. I apologize, everyone. Oh, looks like we are doing just that. So here we go. Turn in coming. Web Weavers on the way. Joanna dropping some gems. And with those 2 kills, it gives them a chance to kind of clean up these lanes, make the Web Weavers spawn a bit deeper, give a little bit less time for the defense. That said, good timing on this Bruiser camp to make sure they have something to defend. And actually, if anything, now with this wave being cleaned up, this Web Weaver mid is going to hardly get any value because there is nothing to buffer the damage from this Bruiser camp. So it will get beat up pretty badly there. So the focus on sieging top wall is down now. This Web Weaver still rather healthy. Let's see how much damage they can get onto the fort. 3v4 defending, but Raynor is now rotating in. We did actually see a swap. Sorry, I missed that OJ and Delta had swapped earlier in the game. That is indeed my mistake. There we go. Cleaned up top, but still some good damage. Rexar, meanwhile, getting a lot of damage in the bottom. Galaxy Quest rather low, but ooh, T-Tor's in chat as Gul'dan did get picked off by the members of THC there. And that Welly doing quite a bit of damage. Here we go. Now, trying to take this Bruiser camp is THC, but a ton of damage goes out, and now Chessclue stuck in the Entomb. Sleep trying to buy the time, and Joanna will survive this, or will she? She gets the potion, but Greymane, who stepped up, is going to pay the price for the positioning. Now Bishop missed 37 gems in kind of a rough spot, and they're under the fort, but there are bruisers there. They need to be a bit careful. Chessclue and Bishop both banks at the moment, holding over 80 gems between them. So you definitely can't afford any deaths between those two right now. But this will result in a turn-in. And it looks like they want to make sure that Galaxy Quest gets the 26 in as well. So dropping those two will be enough. Jaina picking up. And there we go. So this is, now keep in mind, this is almost all of the gems that THC had left. So they need to get a lot of value off this, because in THC's position, if they can protect their now 90 gems, they can absolutely do a double turn-in, because they will pick up the extra 15 they need in the interim. Actually, extra 25 they need in the interim. Bottom Web Weaver cleaned up very quickly, but this mid fort is going to go down before you can really see the rotation needed. There's a good stun there to prevent the engage. Mid fort's down, but this engage has a bit of menace, as there's the Bless Shield into the Entomb. Here comes the Bloodlust, but the Deckard Root going to slow down the engage. Misha has gone down, sleepy time, but it does get interrupted by the Gul'dan. There's a huge 4-man Horrify. Pokeflute so low, but still alive. Chessclue down to 48 health. That is 48 gems on the ground, and those are gems that, oh no, if they lose those gems. E-Keep gonna go down as well, and the first bank of Joanna has crashed. Oh boy, that is rough. It was about 50 gems lost there by Joanna. And Party Time now in a world of trouble as their mid-keep is quivering. Very low health, and it looks like Joanna now, it's her turn to DC. Unfortunate internet issues continue. Now, Joanna has reconnected. May have just been a brief lag spike. Bishop missed very low, does get stunned out, needs to be careful. Joanna steps up with the Condemned to disengage that. Once again, the Intune comes out. Sweet Fun's very low. Greymane going in. There's the root. He gets the cleanse, though, from the Rhaegar, and he pops out, but Raynor did drop in that time frame. There's the stun on the Leo. We're looking for the re-engage here from Party Time on the THC, but THC lands that stun, has the slow totem, and they should indeed be able to walk away from this. So now, still has a turn-in available, but the dreams of a double turn-in are dead with the collapse of the first bank of Joanna. Rexar is going to get most of them in. They do need one more person channeling. Looks like it's going to be Gul'dan just to get that last gem in. And here it goes, but the top lane is pushed all the way to keep. This is not going to get much value. Mid lane, they're going to have to push against catapults. Bot lane, at least the wall's down. That might be their best hope. But it's going to be questionable how much value this Web Weaver can actually get at this point. As you see, both mid and top spawning pretty far back. Bottom is going to get cleaned up immediately, so there's no threat really to bottom lane. So you're going to need to see some kills here by Party Time in order to make something happen. But those last kills in that alleyway, getting the gems off Joe, could be the deciding factor in this game. Party Time now pushing up this fort. They take it down quickly. Let's see what they do. They are rotating very safe, not seeing the members, not wanting to get caught out here. Top lane pushed all the way to keep, but it is already low health. It's going to get cleaned up. Nothing really in the mid, so it looks like they might turn their attention to this bottom. Muradin just scouting the enemy team, trying to get their minions up in order to push this structure, but you can see just how hard it is to push structures here. Both teams rather sheepish to push without an objective or minions or something, where before you might just see a Joanna just pop Iron Skin and run under tower. This bottom fort, though, is going to go down, but it's being traded out for a boss up here in the top by THC, which is pushing a keep without a wall. Not enough gems to turn in here, so this is going to be a potentially very damaging boss, as actually THC could, in theory, pick a turn-in up right here. They will have one gem short. They do now have enough. Are they going to go for the turn-in with this boss, or are they going to try... And it looks like they're just going to push in the opposite, not the opposite lane, but the alternative lane of mid and just make sure that they polish off this keep here, get the catapult pressure. And now they can look for a turn-in. They're going to steal this bruiser camp as well. Boss has chunked this keep down to about half health, but it will survive for the time being. And we actually, I should note, Mithril Mace on the Leo. Nice. Nice. Who doesn't like a Mithril Mace? Rhaegar also going with a Rising Storm, so look for that damage. It's sneaky, but it is very, very damaging if you stack up. This is a rough situation for Party Time right now. They know they're losing control of the map, they know the Web Weavers are coming down, and all they can really do is stay near their base and push lanes out. As now they're going to have to deal with a Web Weaver spawning very close to core in the mid. Basically makes bottom fort just a forfeit at this point, as they're going to have to clear mid and then top, and then race down to try to save bottom keep. Looks like they're actually going to start top first to reduce the travel time. Makes sense, but the fort already down, so Party Time about to go down pretty far in the macro on this map, and Leo actually making sure this Web Weaver pushes even more, making sure to grab every gem. On this map, it can be hard to finish. The Web Weaver the Web Weaver core can do a lot of damage. Here comes the Yamato cannon, priming up the keep, getting some early damage onto it. It looks like we're going to see Party Time ignore that mid Web Weaver and focus on the team fight down here in the bottom. Trying to get this Web Weaver down. Here comes the Pulse Wave. Looks like the Misha has gone down here. But Jaina getting that Blizzard onto the keep. It's going to do a lot of damage. Galaxy Quest, excuse me, really stacking that Mithril Mace onto the Joanna there. And with that level 13, where he is leeching enemy health off the auto attacks, it's just going to make him extraordinarily difficult to kill. Now, in this situation, you have a turn-in. if you're on the side of party time, but the enemy team's about to have 20. So you really got to look for the fight, but they're not going to find it. Their core does have a couple catapults near it. There's also some gems being dropped there. They're going to try to drop their gems in, get the turn in. Chest Glue has to get this in. No one going to interrupt, so this will be a Web Weaver. But mid lane, I mean, the Web Weaver's going to spawn in the shadow of its own goalposts. Top, going to spawn not far. So this is, once again, a situation where you think, how much value are they actually going to be able to get off this Web Weaver phase? The reality is, I think it might have behooved them to hold the Web Weavers until maybe they were closer to 20. Because they're just not going to be able to get any value off this. I mean, you see bottom getting annihilated. They can't really push it across the map at all because of the level 20 disadvantage. It's a tough situation, though. You don't want to just sit on the gems and potentially get picked off. Now, especially that Leoric has Buried Alive. You have that level 20 Bloodlust, which is just broken. Murden has not picked a 20 yet, though. So keep an eye on that. And we have the upgraded Welly, so that is a lot of damage potential going into the fight. Up in the top, though, the last Web Weaver is going to bite the dust, and no real value, maybe just some minuscule damage onto this gate and tower's top, but that's what you got for 60 gems. Both teams fairly equal on gems at the moment, but with the level 20, it's hard for party time to step out and get these gems and soak, and now we're seeing a push onto top by the members of THC. Happy Cloud maybe looking to try to get this keep down with their limited level 20 advantage left. Gul'dan throws out the corruption there. Did not go, however, into the full Q build. Instead, at level 16 taking Darkness Within, once again the bear being sacrificed to buy time for the team to find level 20. And there it is. Mithril Mace, meanwhile, has been completed. So look out for that, and the keep has gone down. So now it is one very lonely structure, and not a strong one left for the members of Party Time. Party Time right now, desperately looking for a fight. When you're losing the macro this hard, you have to take a team fight. But there is the risk. The Entomb onto Joanna, completely isolated. Finally gets the Iron Skin off, but it might be too little too late. I don't think Joanna is going to be able to get out of this one. The ping's onto her. There's the Bloodlust, and that's going to be 18 seconds of a massive power spike. Mithril Mace going in. Here comes Muradin on the flank, looking for the Gul'dan. Sleepy Time, going to catch the root. Catches 3. There's some damage there. Maybe they can get out of this. Maybe they can survive. No, Rexar is going to go down, and this should be a push onto the core with the level 21. You just got to move around and dodge that spider wave. They have a lot of space to work with both the top and mid keep down, and I think they're going to be able to get this. Leo just going to town. That's it. Leo now quite low under this core, taking the shots, and this core still at 30% health. There's a big Horrify to buy them a ton of time. Muradin was zoned off the core. Core is down to 9%. Is Muradin going to be able to get this down? He is. And Team Happy Cloud looking strong coming in, beating the Regen Invitational Champions. And I got to be honest, while that game was back and forth, it was never too far in XP difference, never too far in gem difference. Boy, did THC show their strength in macro. They got so much more value off the map. They got so much more value off kills, and they got so much more value off their web weavers. So just a really strong showing there by the members of THC. And you know, if they can do that in game 2, I mean, very low kill count game, 7 kills to 6. It was well after post 10 before we saw the first deaths. But THC, they played the macro really well. I loved what I saw from Sweet Bun. Some really good engages there. And but Leo, man, that Mithril Mace just doing so much damage. You got a wickety whack with the mace. But we're going to get set up once again for game number 2. We'll be right back, everyone. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everyone, to Nexus Gaming Series. DB Smiley here, bringing you game number 2 between Team Happy Cloud and Party Time. And Party Time didn't have a party after that last game. It was a pretty sour party. The cat jumped in the birthday cake. Grandma tripped. Just a bad party. They had moments. They were able to secure kills, but it just seemed that the macro edge and the usage of the map and the usage of the objective was just significantly better on the side of THC, and they turned that into a macro edge. It forced Party Time to make some kind of desperate plays, forced them to look for team fights, and they ultimately tried too hard to find a team fight on that top on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Great in Tomb, basically isolated Joanna from the rest of the team. Whole team had to disengage without the tank, and on the rundown, they secure enough kills to be able to go core. Although that said, the core did truck out some damage, so can't underestimate these new cores in the current game patch. But it looks like we are ready to get back into the draft, so we should do so rather soon. And here we go. Hang on. Seemingly having some issues here. As it looks like my sound has been... There we go. Fix the issue. Alright, let me just make sure that is still... And here we go. So jumping into this draft, let's see if anything from the last game gets banned. We saw some pretty mana bans. Sylvanas, Deathwing, Anna, and Zul banned out last time. It's going to be a ban onto the Greymane, so that was a high priority pick by Party Time. Not wanting to play against it, so we are going to see that Greymane banned out here. And if we take a look at the season stats from Season 8, as we don't have enough data, obviously, yet in Season 8, or Season 9 for stats, so pulling that up, you can see that, good win rate from the Greymane last season. I'll pull it up once again. Solid KDA, 52% win rate, high popularity, though. But there, now you see the Deathwing ban. What will be the next ban? We'll see. Zul, still available. They could try to pick it if they want to, though. This is not Zul's best map, but Skeletal Mages can still get a lot of value with all these choke points. Gonna ban out the Mal'Ganis. Mal'Ganis really became the go-to tank last season in a lot of situations. Really rose in popularity as the season went on. Started low, but finished high. 54% win rate. Just very hard to engage into, but also has good engage himself. Sleep to set up the engages or to help his team get away. Last ban comes in. It is the Rhaegar. So this is a situation where Team Happy Cloud, they recognize the power of this Bloodlust Rhaegar, and they don't want to play against it. Zul is going to be the first pick here. Now, Zul last season barely saw any play at all. That was obviously before his rework. 3% popularity, a 30% win rate. I suspect that once we get our first round of stats at the end of this week, that popularity will be a little bit higher, let's guess. But we do see the Raynor ETC. Raynor, of course, went up big time in popularity last season. 36% popularity, only a 49% win rate, so a little bit below where you'd want to be, but still a respectable hero, and especially with the Greymane out, a really, really good burn assassin. We'll see if he goes into his PvE damage talent at level 1.
Anna checking in.
But there is the Anna that's going to get picked up, as well as the Vala. So, Anna, a popular hero last season, 48% popularity and a 53% win rate, and a very high average KDA, although healers tend to have higher KDA than other heroes. That's because all healers are just great players. That's the real story behind that. Alarak gonna get banned out. Very powerful on the map. Hard to play against with all the choke points. As I work to get some information entered here to keep track of. Sylvanas banned out, not too much of a surprise. Actually, if anything, it's a surprise that Sylvanas got this far in the draft, but both teams knowing what they want. Are we going to get the nano-boosted Zul with the Skeletal Mages? I would say that seems a high probability. We saw it last night, and it was quite damaging. We're going to get the Sonya for some added burn. Not the most popular not the most popular solo laner last season, but I've seen quite a bit of Sonya this season, both in NGS and in Storm League. Only 18% popularity last season, an average KDA of 3. That's going to be a yikes from me, dog. But Joanna made it this far through draft, and there is our flex pick. There's the novelty in this draft, and it's Mephisto. And it looks like it's going to be Bishop Mist jumping onto that Chest Glue, back onto that Joanna, which typically we haven't been seeing get this far through the draft. But with maybe with just the Deathwing and the Zul and the Rhaegar, everything else just kind of is a higher priority to get rid of at this point. And we're gonna get Li Ming, a great poke follow up here, for the last pick on the side of Team Happy Cloud as we get set to go into this game. Just making sure there are no last-second swaps that caught me off guard like we saw last time, and I had some of the captions wrong. I just want to avoid that. Like I actually did catch something that was a bit mistaken, but otherwise, looks like we're good to go. Alright, so BOE tends to be a pretty team fight-oriented map. A lot of emphasis on, we saw last night actually, between Parsley and Pixie Dusters. Parsley didn't draft a ton of burn, drafted a ton, however, of stall potential. They managed to get a lot of picks and just really keep the members of Pixie Dust away from their immortal. Let's see if we see any kind of similar strategy play out this time as we get set up for the game. Jumping in now. And here we go. On the left side, it is going to be the members of Team Happy Cloud. It's going to be Delta up in the top on the Sonya. Down here in the bottom, Galaxy on Li Ming. Juice on Deckard. Brett Michaels on the Rainer. And Sweet Buns on the ETC. Team Happy Cloud. On the right, looking to avenge the loss in Game 1, it's going to be Party Time. E-Keeb on the Greymane. Bishop Mist on the Mephisto. Poke Flute on a Chest Glue once again on Joanna, and up in the top, it is E-Keeb, actually not on Greymane, E-Keeb on Zul. I thought I fixed it. I still had one hero incorrect on the pop-ups. Apologies, everyone. With any consolation, I know I'm not a very good caster. Level 1 talents coming in. And it is going to be the Sapphire out of Deckard. Zul, ooh, there's a big power slide looking for the root. Iron Skin, though, going to be used. Zul going with the Shackler talent, so trying to get some slows. Joanna with the Hold Your Ground. Probably going to need it here with just as much CC as that ETC Deckard combo can bring. Won't be a bad idea. Anna going with the Grenade talent. We don't tend to see it as much anymore. You tend to see the Sleep Dart talent at 1 for the slow, but we'll see how much value it gets. Anna trying to heal up. Ooh, missed power slide there by Sweet Buns. Trying to look for that low health Vala. Good root. Forces the members of Party Time to step up, but THC not really able to punish it that much. Galaxy Quest just throwing some cheeky damage onto the wall. Not really super meaningful, but keeping our attention down here. Sweet Bun's a bit low from this Mephisto. A lot of potions on the ground, though. And this is the part of the game where Deckard can be a bit mana hungry because he's just going to mash his Q and get as many potions on the ground early as he can, as you see the tap coming in just to make sure he keeps his mana up. But doing a good job keeping the potions down. 4 on the ground, and still throwing out some targeted potions as needed. And that's kind of how you want to play Deckard. You want to throw out enough targeted potions to keep people reasonably close to top off, while still giving them options if they get engaged on to find potions in the back. There's a power slide, but nullified by the Iron Skin there by Chest Clue. Li Ming looking for those orbs in the back, as yet not finding them. Up here in the top lane, fairly neutral as we see Ana and Vala moving for the first Bruiser camp. The timer will kick off here in 9 seconds, but recognizing the rotation away, actually, you're going to see THC say, alright, well, if you insist, we'll take the siege camp. And now they still have time to rotate to their camp if they want to, and you're seeing them do just that. So this is going to be a camp benefit, camp positive for the members of THC, as top camp has not been claimed. And that Bruiser camp may have been picked a bit early. You tend to want to pick it late, so that way, if the camps meet in the lane, they tend to neutralize closer to your wall, so you have a bit safer clear. Instead, we're seeing Party Time rotate away, missing the rest of that soak on bottom to start the burn. ETC joining them, gonna try to pressure up and pressure onto this Vala. Right now, both teams burning their respective Immortals. And it looks like, actually, we're seeing Party Time start to fall a little bit behind here. This ETC disrupting rather effectively. And I should note, we did not see Vala go into the Q build this game, so not going to have as much burn as you would typically see from Vala on this map. Chest Clue stepping up, looking he wants to play defense. Stepping on, finding the Deckard, trying to stun someone into one of those immortal stuns. Vala on the backline, Sweet Buns looking to harass the Vala. P-Slide is going to be a miss. Meanwhile, though, it looks like Party Gems once again starting to fall behind. Only 3,000 health and falling down to 1,500, and this will be... Oh, but ETC is going to pay for it. Great route into the Mephisto combo. And there you see the power of any CC you pair with Mephisto is going to let him stack that W extremely hard, do a ton of damage, and that's exactly what you saw there. So they did trade out the ETC for this objective. ETC, though, going to be up soon, short death timers, but they're not now going to be able to pressure up with this Immortal. Instead, we're seeing what you've may have seen talked about on fan stream. They're pushing the opposite lane away from the Immortal, and Zul can't really do anything. He's 1v3, so he kind of just has to sit back, try to soak anything he can. Need to be a bit careful. Some pretty significant tower damage. But now with ETC here and with minions, it looks like they want to push on to this keep. Zul going to clear these minions up with his Curse Strikes. It's going to bait a retreat here from Sweet Buns. But some fort damage there, and with the wall down, but here comes a rotation. Joanna in the back with the Mephisto, trying to focus on the Brett Michaels. Deckard root, not going to hit anyone. Mephisto, though, gets rooted, unable to move in with that W. There's a power slide. Bishop Miss is low, but here comes the grenades. Going to force Sweet Buns out as he can't get healing. Mephisto goes back in and finds the kill onto Raynor, and that is a huge pick-off there for the members of Party Time. Let's see what they can do with that. There's a power slide once again onto the Vala, who was actually under tower. Took a ton of damage there. Clutch heal by Poke Flute, making sure it didn't go down. But Mephisto really doing a good job trucking out the damage at the moment. Sonya does manage to win this shrine against Ekeb, who has to drop the root and walk away. Some tower damage up here, though. And so once again, we're seeing, even though a kill lead early in favor of Party Time, just seeing some slightly better macro play on the side of THC, and it's translated well. And so Chess Clue now stepping up, but it looks like Party Time, worried about this, might have to back off the point. Now Mephisto stepping back up, but a great face melt prevents any member of Party Time from stepping onto the point. And now Vala's going to go down. Thought she might get out with 12 HP. Mephisto's in a bad spot. He's done for. Now the question is, will Joe get away? Her Iron Skin is down. The chase is coming. Li Ming looking for this. Doesn't quite find the damage yet. Galaxy Quest chasing it down, getting the kill. And that will be a huge lead for Party Time. 3 kills to nothing over that bot camp. And ETC now able to start clearing up these minions so the Khazra camp can step up with some minion waves here. It's going to force Party Time to spend their time cleaning up bottom lane. All cleanup and no party, as halftime is easily grabbed 50-0 on the side of THC, and it looks like with Sweet Buns in great position, they might actually get 100-0 here. Zul having to clean up the top lane at the moment. There's nothing you're really going to be able to see Party Time do here. Sonya rotates up, but there was no one even working on that. So this is a 100-0 Immortal as Sonya moving in onto the Zul. Going top are the members of Party Time. But once again, seeing this focus of, hey, if the Immortal's top, we're going to push bottom. With the 100-0 Immortal, it may still be enough to get the fort. Sonya going to stay top, just try to pick up any of the soak from the minions. Although, if anything, it's kind of risky to be up here, especially at half health. Trying to go for the sleepy time on the E-Keep, doesn't find it, but E-Keep will survive. And that bottom fort does go down. Top fort taking damage from this Immortal. Should survive. And in fact will survive. But now with this Yamato cannon pressuring up onto this bottom keep wall. They have some minions. But Zul can clean them up quickly. Here comes Li Ming. Once again looking for this aggressive flank. Team on the chase behind them. Great face melt there. But here comes the Blessed Shield into the W, but a missed root ultimate by Mephisto is going to mean that they need to break off and retreat. Meanwhile, this entire time, Sonya up on the top lane due to the overcommitment to bottom. She's going to pick this fort up. No, it's going to technically survive for the time being, although it might get cleaned up quickly. But THC, they're just keeping the pressure on in this macro. But now ETC is going to take some tower shots, get armor reduced. He's going to have to back up. Zul once again looking for the flank. Sonya, meanwhile, is grabbing this top lane. So it seems like they're so desperate for a team fight on the side of Party Time that they're giving up just a ton of XP and a ton of macro edge. Zul now having to rotate back top to deal with this Khazra camp. Meanwhile, down here in the bottom, THC says, look, another Khazra camp. What's better than one Khazra camp? Two. Oh, but there's the root on the cow. I don't think he's going to get out of this, and Sweet Buns gets a little bit overcooked there. And now, with this kill, it looks like they want to turn this into a bruiser camp. Maybe more interested in looking for a pick there, but they are at least going to take this bruiser camp. That said, while they're taking this bruiser camp, this top fort is going to go down. And this bruiser camp is just going to push on to keep wall and not really get a lot of value. So, once again, just kind of, yes, they get the kill, but then what? And it seems like the but then what question is always being answered by THC. Whereas on the other side, we're seeing Party Time kind of struggle with that answer sometimes. As now they find themselves down 2 forts, despite being even on kills and even on XP. Moral phase has gotten underway, about halfway to halftime. Root coming in, doesn't collect anyone, but it does force the members of Party Time to scatter. Chessclue once again stepping up, does not have Iron Skin available. We'll see if that gets punished. Li Ming continuing to poke in. Chessclue once again potentially looking for some kind of flank here. Deckard has potions just all over the place. Really good decision making by this Deckard, where to put the potions down. Now looking for the root, forcing Party Time once again to scatter. But once again, this is kind of a 5v4 as Sonya gets level 13 in the bottom lane and now may look to join the team. There is the sleepy time, but actually a little bit of a knockback from the Wave of Force upsets the damage from the stage dive. Galaxy Quest getting a big heal there from the Deckard potion and enabling this fight to be turned around as Zul goes down. Bishop Mist trucks out a lot of damage, but gets teleported back to where he doesn't want to be. Down he goes. Now the chase from Schumann. Sonya looking for the spear, not going to find it, but that is 2 more kills to the side of THC, and they find halftime with a very healthy, though not 100% Immortal. Mortal Burn now starting here by Raynor. You will see it go down quick. Meanwhile, the cleaning staff once again having to soak down a level on the side of Party Time. ETC defending this objective. We do see the super potions out of Deckard as opposed to the ancient blessings. Always kind of an interesting choice. The super potions definitely brings a lot more healing if you're able to get potions on the ground, which we've seen Juice be able to do in most cases. But man, ancient blessings, while it's been nerfed, still very strong and actually adds siege damage. That's the thing I think people don't appreciate, because ancient blessings provides healing and bonus damage based on the number of heroes hit. People forget that it also adds just a ton of siege damage. But once again, we're seeing really just a great adaptation to this new meta on the side of Team Happy Cloud, as they continue to just say, hey, Immortal goes there, well, we're going to go over here. And now pressuring up this bot lane, and now this is kind of pick your poison. Do you want to give up top to defend bottom? It looks like that might be the choice. But they need to take this engagement. They can't just sit around waiting for something to happen. Looks like we're going to see Vala rotate up towards the top to take care of this top camp. Meanwhile, excuse me, sorry, I thought I heard something. In the bottom, keep push is starting to come in. Deckard gets a bit low. 4v5 though, this keep is down to about half health. Top keep also starting to struggle. Vala barely going to save it from the look of it, although it may drop. Gotta pay attention to the pings. Minions are finishing it. Is that keep going to survive? Looks like it survived for the time being. But THC, they're still just hanging around. They're not letting, at any point, Party Time to reset, kind of get their bearings. And now there's a route onto the Ana. Forces Joanna step up. Sleepy Time, oh, not going to catch anyone. The zoning ult for the time being. But now Zul needing to run top to clear this top camp, and you might see THC just push right back in. And I love this aggression. They're not going and just playing safe and getting camps. They want this keep. They want to try to force the mistake in this 4v5 situation. They know they have the catapult pressure top to get that lane pushing. Zul now stepping up, trying to really get some pressure there. But he might have to rejoin as now with the minion wave coming up. Oh, there's the root. Hits on to Deckard. Blessed Shield follow-up, but just not enough damage there. And now under the tower, ETC getting annihilated by this keep. He will go down, but the keep will follow. Now Sonya down to minus 20 armor, is healthy again. Vala trying to go for the kill. There's the Ancient Spear. Is Vala going to get the trade? She does, and she wins the 1v1. So THC maybe hanging around too long. And by the way, here comes Zul onto the flank, looking for the Poison Nova onto Deckard, getting the damage out. Deckard mashing the Alt Q. E-Keep, though, maybe a bit too far away from the team. No one really followed up. Perhaps a miscommunication there by Party Time. If E-Keep goes down right now, that would absolutely be devastating. Here comes Mephisto moving on the Rainer. Ming does chase the Zul, but he's going to hearth out. Maybe just a miscommunication on that flank. Oh, once again, a missed ult. Almost would have hit. Would have been huge if it did. I have to imagine that's a miscommunication where Zul said, like, hey, I'm going in for the flank. The rest of the team was like, no, I got a hearth or something. But didn't have the support he needed and almost paid dearly for it. 5v5 once again. But for the first time, we're seeing Party Time able to pressure up this Immortal early. And with the Rain Core, we are seeing Vala get a lot more burn pressure now. Halftime is earned, but there is a Siege Camp pushing in the bottom and a Catapult pushing in the top. It looks like Zul's going to have to go clean that up. This is going to be the standard offensive burn positions, but it looks like we're seeing an ETC very interested in defending. Schumann needs to be careful. He gets pace lit on Vala. Ooh, Vala manages to juke the worst of the Ming damage. Here comes the stun potentially. No Sleepy Time, but the Iron Skin's there. No, the sleep still catches, but ETC is so low. ETC does go down. He's the first death of this fight, but Deckard might be soon to follow. He's mashing that Alt Q. Sonya trying to buy some space, but she has the root, and she's going to get Whirlwind. No, she doesn't get Whirlwind to break the root. Deckard does survive with the Alt Q, but now it looks like Party Time, maybe with a chance to make something happen. That said, Ming going to weaken the shielding by doing some equal damage on to the Immortal. Both globes going to be picked up by Chest Clue. This Immortal will go bottom, and that actually favors because that's the lane where they have already lost the keeps. They're going to have catapults everywhere. Zul need to go top, but you're seeing Party Gem still doing kind of the old school technique of we're going to push with the Immortal and try to make something happen. They haven't tried to adjust to what Team Happy Cloud is doing, and really if it's what you know, maybe it's the safer play, but this Immortal is taking a lot of damage. Still shielded though. It does have the attention of the tower, but you got to be very careful not to damage any members. And with ETC here, that's going to get risky. There's the power slide, looking for it, but the fort has gone down. Now trying to move on to ETC. There's the stun combo. ETC is low. Mephisto on the chase, and that is going to be a cow going down. Sonya does get stunned there by the Condemn. Manages to get away. There's the sleepy time from Deckard, buying even a bit more space. Sonya low health, not going to be able to re-engage this, but the Immortal is now down. Let's see what they do with this. Keep in mind, that top fort did not go down to Zul on the flank. Sonya will have the Whirlwind to break that route. Looks like they want to try to maybe go for this Bruiser camp, try to open up some opportunity to push in, but into this 4v5, you'd usually see them really make a much more aggressive play for the keep, especially with the Joanna, but can't do it because of this new patch. Instead, going to go top, clean up this fort, expect them to take fort, and then maybe take the Khazra camp and try to use that, maybe pressure up keep wall a bit. At the very least, they have equalized the top lane, but bottom lane, they are still at a keep deficit. Going to move now into the Khazra camp. Meanwhile, on the side of Happy Cloud, looks like they're going to rotate up to this top lane, clean it up, get that soak, but Party Time does have level 20s, and we're taking a look at those level 20s. We have the extra Bless Shield, the extra range from Vala. We have Mephisto going with the double Lightning Nova, which will be quite powerful. And we have the extra Nano Boost from Mephisto. And that Mortal Wound is really going to help, I think, deal with some of this Deckard. People are going to have to be a bit patient with when they pick up the potions. It's also going to make it where Deckard, even if he sweet spots a potion, is just not going to get a lot of value, potentially. Now pushing up with this Khazra camp, trying to get some pressure. Nobody right now positioning for the Immortal phase. Mephisto just nuking with that double W, as you see there. I believe that's Mephisto's W. I haven't actually played Mephisto. Fun story. But you're seeing the AoE damage pick up here, and this should be halftime, heading over to party time, but here comes a root attempt. Didn't go Scroll of the Stone Curse, so not going to have that extra bit of burst damage. Instead going with the the better CDR on Deckard at 16. Would have maybe initiated some damage, but yeah, this is still a very low health Immortal. ETC is going to get rooted, tries to boot people into the Immortal stuns, doesn't happen. Here comes the Poison Nova, only actually collects onto a lot of people there, and this should buy them the space. The question is Vala going to get out? Vala is in a bad spot, and I don't think she escapes this. Down she goes. That said, this is a 100-0 Immortal. Maybe if they can get some kind of counter kill with the Mephisto, they'll be alright. Stage dive, though, looking for the Ana. Sonya on the back line on the Zul. There comes the Condemn. ETC chasing onto this Ana, who is completely isolated. Joanna goes down to the pressure, not able to get the heals from the Ana. Finally, the Cavalry arrives to help out, but that is 2 kills down. It looks like we might see THC just try to play for the core, as the shields are low, but not down. The catapults did get the shields quite low indeed, but it is still standing. And we're going to keep our attention here, but keep your eye on both of these health bars. Root comes in, does collect someone, but doesn't really do much. So now it is 3 defending. ETC moves in with the power slide, trying to get the damage onto the Zul. Zul does actually get booped out of the root there. The double W is nuking down Sweet Buns, but the core is down to 50% and falling. And this Sonya is absolutely laying into it. 40%, but down goes Raynor. Do we get the miracle defense? Sonya is still pushing onto it. 20%, 15%. She is still very healthy, but down she's about to go 1%. But Ming steps up and gets the finish. And THC, they love a dramatic core finish, and they got it. And they are going to take this series 2-0. All right. So now, post-game. And there you see, I mean, you had more kills on the side of Party Time, but it's just, that macro really made the difference in the game. And I really loved what we saw by THC in the mid-game, just hanging around, refusing to back up in a lot of ways. Give me a second here as I'm requesting an interview. As we try to get a post-game set up, but really did a great job kind of just holding the members of Party Time, unable to really open up anything on the map. Party Time started getting it going late, but that last team fight just they committed so much to winning the Immortal, but Vala got out of position and got engaged on, and things just snowballed from there. With the Joanna going down, that enabled the final core push. Now the 100-0 Immortal didn't get any value, so we're going to see if we can get a post-game interview. Stay tuned. We'll hopefully be right back in just a second. All right, welcome back, everyone. Nexus Gaming Series, DB Smiley here, and what a really strong win we just saw from Team Happy Cloud. They came into the season. I was high on them. Thought thought Party Time was a good team. Still think they are a good team, but you just saw, I think, an edge, especially in the macro play in that series. And I am joined by the captain Brett Michaels and the tank Sweet Buns of the victorious Team Happy Cloud. Brett Michaels, how you feeling after that one?
Oh, pretty good. Off to a good start with the first NGS game of the season, so pretty happy.
Yeah, and like I guess so. I diagnosed macro was kind of a big edge for you in that game. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, would you agree with that? And is that something you guys focus on a lot? Like, what were your thoughts kind of on the macro in
Personally,
this
I'm a
new
little
meta?
bit
Go ahead.
surprised we were winning macro early game in Spider Queen against a team comp with Johanna Gul'dan.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, it's something we've definitely been working on in terms of just like knowing when to press an advantage and what you can get away with and what you can take, that sort of thing. I think especially with these new the new patch and the tower changes, there's a lot of exploration that can be done with that still.
Now, at one point on Tomb, you guys actually did get down a little bit right as 10 hit. Looked like there was maybe a miscommunication on how the engage wanted to go down. How do you guys, at that kind of critical juncture of the game, what was your focus to get kind of back in control of the game, and especially of the map and the macro? Like, how do you think you turned that?
What do you think, Sweet?
I didn't have. Well, we just sort of went over it and kept going on. We've definitely taken a good few hits, especially and Heroes Lounge. Bouncing back is just part of the routine.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
As
think
for
that
miscommunication, like we went over things like Mirrodin having low health, not having enough mana to pop Avatar
Mhm.
after getting the jump and stun in.
yeah, I think a thing to be careful about against that in that first game, they had a really good comp to kind of disengage from the Bloodlust with the Gul'dan and the Deckard. So just having to play around that a little bit more instead of just kind of going all in and everyone pressing R and hoping, rolling your face with the keyboard and hoping something dies.
Just really worried about Horrify in particular. I know towards the end of the game, I selected Rewind on Mirrodin just to potentially stall Horrify out while we Bloodlusted in,
Mhm.
and probably clumped a lot more because of Blood.
Yeah. All right. Well, so now taking it to game number 2 as it went to BOE, you guys kind of got that early macro lead, and I saw you guys splitting away from the Immortal a lot. Whereas when THC got their Immortal, they wanted to push with it in bottom. Is I this is something that we've seen a lot of high end players talk about as kind of the new meta, especially on this map. Um, what? But then so you did that, but then throughout much of the mid game, you guys continued to pressure bottom and keep party time defending. What was the mindset behind that? What do you think? What edge do you think that kind of gave you as the game wore on?
If I'm to be completely honest, part of it is just like momentum and us having that sort of dominant mindset at the time, a bit of a cat-eyed predator thing going on. But I would say we dominated poke just by having Li Ming on our team
Mm,
composition, and they were forced to approach us. And so we were able to like hold out for a very long time, especially with Deckard Potion stocking under the like right outside of fort range,
mm-hmm.
and finish it off, especially with the 16 advantage.
Well, I mean, you guys played it really well. I guess to that end, first, congrats on the domination victory to start the season. That's always how you want it to start. The floor is yours for shoutouts.
Shout out to all of Team Heavy Cloud, Delta, Sweet, Galaxy, and OJ, and then to our team mascot, VCR player. Couldn't have done it without you.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's shout out to the Ikib and the rest of his team. They played really well. So cool, and thanks for the cast as well. That was great.
Happy to
Super
do it.
appreciate it. Yeah,
All
man.
right. Well, thank you. So I will have another game for you here in 43 minutes. So I will see everyone at that time at 11 o'clock. We're going to go to Division E. We're going to take a look at the new team, Cerebral Gaming, against one of the classic teams, and that is going to be Yavapai, or whatever their Yavapai base name is this season. Can't wait to see it. Hope to see you at 11. In the meantime, I'm going to throw a raid over to Moist Weenus. Go ahead and give him a watch. Stick around, watch him cast that series, and we'll be back for you in just a bit. Thanks for watching.